Hello everybody, welcome to one of my e-bike adventures, this time on the Main River between the villages of Sommerhausen and Winterhausen. With a full tank of electricity and my own leg power, I'm going to take you on a cruise down the beautiful paved bike paths along the Main on a pretty hot day in August. It's about 91 right now. This is Frickenhausen. I wanted to show you the houses that are built right onto the town wall dating back to the early 1400s. There's one of the gates on the riverside. And on this gate that was built in the 1400s, you have some high water marks going back centuries. That's 1749. Would have been devastating. And some private gardens as I leave Frickenhausen, heading for my first stop of Sommerhausen. And there's a show off as I cruise along the cornfields, always reminding me of where I grew up in southwest Minnesota. But we sure didn't have bike paths like this. There's some people camping on the side of the Main River in the shade, and more shade as I enter my first stop of Sommerhausen. Sommerhausen has an interesting character because it's a wine village, of course, so most people are engaged in that trade, but artists have settled here and created some beautiful galleries and shops, some high quality things that are sold not just during the regular season, but also Christmas time, when they have a Christmas market that fills the entire village with light and smells, all the wonderful foods that they're making, the hot mulled wine, both red and white. It's just an incredible atmosphere that I experienced for the first time actually last year in December, and hope to experience again, probably not this year during the time of Corona, but hopefully not too far down the line. That tower, in fact, that I'm approaching is an artist's studio, and he makes some fantastic metal designs for the yard or garden. Making my turn on this cobblestone street, which you're not seeing it in the video because I'll tell you a little secret. I'm actually holding my phone in what's called an Osmo. It's an Osmo Mobile 3. It holds my phone securely and the gyroscope inside the phone holder, as well as the stabilization of my iPhone 11, really smooths things out so you don't feel all those little bumps, but believe me, I feel them in my arm and in my stomach as I try to stay upright and stay stable, riding and filming at the same time. It's not easy, but I think I'm getting better at it. Making my turn out the north gate of the village. I'm going to turn around out here and take you back into the village and show you some scenes with my still camera. This is the church. A view from my resting point in the shade, and a house that was built so that the upper stories come out over the street. This was a kind of a way of cheating the tax man, because you were taxed on your square footage that you took up on the ground level, not what you took up on the upper levels. Sommerhausen has some beautiful metal Ausleger, gorgeous designs showing people what the business had to offer. Quiet on a weekday afternoon, busier on the weekends. This is a restaurant with a very big wine barrel that they've made into a window and a seating area inside. There goes a classic Volkswagen Beetle. They're called a Käfer in Germany. Happy wine drinker outside of a wine pub. where you can enjoy wine from the region. It's one of the town gates. I came through that gate earlier. And along the Stadtmauer, or town wall. Back out into the countryside. I'm passing through orchard country now, on my way to my turnaround point, which is going to be up near Oxenfurt, before I come down into Winterhausen on the other side of the mine. There's no bridge in these parts, so I've got to go up a little ways to cross the river. Part of the joy of... Wait a minute, what's that car doing here? Part of the joy of climbing a hill is coming back down it fast. Fastest I've ever come down a hill so far on my e-bike is 59.7 kilometers an hour. That's nearly 40. That's pretty fast. But I'm getting better at my balancing act. Coming into Winterhausen now. And it's paper recycling pickup day. That's why you're going to see a lot of blue canisters out on the streets. The Germans take recycling very seriously. Everybody does it. And paper gets picked up. Plastics get picked up on another day. Metal you put into the recycling bins that are available on the edge of every town. Glass, same thing. You do it yourself. Going down the Hauptstrasse, or Main Street, of Winterhausen. Winterhausen had an agricultural trade that was mainly based in the old days on vegetables and not so much wine. And I read when I was there that they had to build a bridge between Winterhausen and Sommerhausen in order to get their vegetables to market on the train which ran through the Sommerhausen side. And I'm going to show you in a minute the bridge. There's some flowers. I just lowered my Osmo so you could see those as I go by. I'm going to show you in a minute the remains of that bridge that they built more than 100 years ago. So we're coming up on the bridge now, built in 1894-95, destroyed in 1945 in the final months of World War II by the Allies. And this bridge was important for the commerce to go back and forth between Sommerhausen and Winterhausen and the villages on either side. And I found an old drawing of the two villages before the bridge was built. And then here's a black and white photo taken right around 1900. High water on the Main River and the bridge. And we go on to the Oxenfurt area. I could make a quip about when I see a fork in the road, but you know the rest of that, so I won't. What a welcome sight. A beach. With a place to get in the water of the mine, which is nice and cool and clean, by the way. There comes a barge. It's going to enter one of the locks on the mine, one of the many locks, which makes the Main River really a series of lakes and helps with flood control. And as I continue on to Oxenfurt, there are a couple of the namesakes, some oxen grazing along the mine, and a private garden. This is the medieval bridge of Oxenfurt. I'm just going to give you a glimpse. We'll save Oxenfurt for another day, another adventure. A friend of mine asked me recently, he said, "James, why are you so positive and happy?" Well, my answer is, look where I live. Look what I can do. I'm safe. I live in a country ruled by science and not by fantasy. I feel good here, and and I intend to stay for a very long time. Hope you enjoyed this latest film. Take care.